Hello, and welcome back to Gloomhaven Speedrunning. This is going to be a video breaking down my brand new all classes world record. So this is a really fun run. There are 11 unlockable classes in the game, and my goal is just to complete them as fast as possible. This is a really cool run, and I highly recommend it to anyone out there who has any interest at all in speedrunning Gloomhaven. This is a good one to start on just because you can play on an easy difficulty, so you don't have to worry too much about the combat, but it still gives you a lot of really good experience and practice, and it's more difficult than it looks, but once you pick it up, it's pretty easy, so it's really fun. There will be minor spoilers in this video. You'll see all the class icons. The only unlockable class I'll really be using is lightning bolts, and I don't go very deep into the campaign, so you won't see very many levels. But very minor spoilers. And with that, I think let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're going to be starting on deadly difficulty, and then we want the variant of +2 and -2 instead of crits and misses. Missing would be very bad, and -2 is acceptable in most cases. And then I also play with the DLC. You don't have to play with the DLC, so if you don't own it, you can still do this run. They are not required classes to unlock all classes. So this beginning intro right here, this cutscene is skippable. You can miss it if you click too early. It'll just like freeze and you won't be able to do anything. If you wait for the screen to fade to black, you'll skip it every time. Since I'm going for a world record here, I am trying to get a good city event to start with. This is definitely not required. If you can very easily get like an hour 40-minute time without resetting for this. But I basically reset my runs until I get +1 prosperity, which you have a 1 in 5 chance for. So now that I have that +1 prosperity, I'm going to be creating classes. So I want specific personal quest on specific classes. So you can think of it like a deck of cards that has 24 cards with the personal quests on them. When you start a new run, that deck of cards gets shuffled. Then every time you create a character, you take the 2 cards off the top, and then you put them back down on the bottom. So once you have made 12 classes, you have seen the order of the deck, and it will stay that way until you retire a class. So I know specific goals that I'm looking for will be in specific places. So on my 6th character that I created, I saw experience 2 allies achieving their personal quest. I want that goal on my Mind Thief. And right here, I got exhaust 12 times on the Spellweaver. That's why I was just making Spellweavers nonstop, because I knew I would need that goal. And then, since I had already seen my Mind Thief's goal, I knew that my Cragheart's goal was coming up at least sometime relatively soon. So my Cragheart now has experience 15 allies exhausting, which will unlock the Saw for me. My Spellweaver has exhaust 12 times, which will unlock the Berserker for me. And my Mind Thief has experienced 2 allies achieving their personal quests. So you can see how those 3 would have pretty good synergy with each other, because all they need to do is die a lot and then go back to town, and all 3 of them retire. It's just going to take me a couple seconds longer here to make the rest of my classes. And I'm just making brutes because they're a little bit faster to make, since you don't have to click on anything extra. And I know the position my Mind Thief is going to be in. I did play it safe, and so I started making Mind Thief's 1 slot early, just in case I had remembered incorrectly. But there is my experience 2 allies retiring. Then it's very important here that I put my Spellweaver in the first slot and my Mind Thief in the last slot. Then I just need to make sure I bring the right Cragheart, and I just bring a hatchet. I could bring any class here. The actual class itself doesn't really matter. So I buy some boots, I put them on my Mind Thief, and I am headed off to level 1. So I'm a couple seconds behind, but this first split is very heavy RNG, just based off the order your personal quests are in and if any of them are doubled up. So another thing that I will be looking for throughout the run is negative reputation. So that was a very good road event to get. Throughout the run, I need to lose 5 reputation from city and road events. But I believe there are 13 in total events that you can get. So you start with 60 city and road events in the deck, and I believe 13 of them will lower your reputation. And then actually retiring the Cragheart will add another one to the deck that will lower my reputation. And the Mind Thief, actually. Both of them retire... add a minus reputation event. So it's not very hard to get all the minus reputation that I need. So, very first thing I'm doing, I'm going really fast on my Spellweaver here and having her walk onto a trap and die. That's why I'm playing on a high difficulty. I can kill myself quickly before any of these guards have a chance to do anything. Then I have the order of my characters very particular. My Cragheart is going slower than my Spellweaver, but faster than the fastest card that Bandit Guards or Bandit Archers can pull. And then my Hatchet is going slower than my Mind Thief, but as close to my Mind Thief as possible. That's because when you abandon a quest and retry it, it still ticks up your retirement goal counter, but you can only abandon quest while it is your turn. So I need to make sure that the monsters never get a turn. And so right here, I am abandoning on my Cragheart's turn just because those Archers were faster than my Mind Thief. And so since my Mind Thief is going to need to die 3 times and my Spellweaver 12, I will have plenty of opportunities to get good RNG. I believe I did mess one of my rounds up, and I gave a couple monsters a few turns, but it doesn't end up mattering that much. In general, the main thing we're looking for to speed up playing levels in this game is just killing monsters before they have the opportunity to act. Or if you open a door, accomplishing what you need, and then abandoning the quest before any monsters go. They can make it very, very fast. So I think we're already on 3 deaths for the Spellweaver and 1 death for the Mind Thief. So not much longer on that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of time here to talk about the route in general. So I have all of the character icons at the bottom, all grayed out because I don't have anybody unlocked yet. But I do have them listed in the order we'll be unlocking them. And so let's go ahead and start with the end, because that's kind of what the route is built towards. There are 2 main classes this route is really built around. So the Plague Herald, the Squid Face. Plague Herald is a very difficult class to unlock. There are only 2 possible ways to get it. One is to beat 3 crypt levels, and then to go on a 3 side quest chain. And then the other one would be to kill 3 spitting dragons, 3 oozes, and 3 lurkers. So obviously killing 9 enemies is going to be a lot faster than playing 6 levels. We do 2 crypt levels, but you would have to do a 3rd one, which would be extra. So you do 4 extra levels versus just killing 9 monsters. The problem is I need to unlock those 9 monsters. So oozes are relatively easy. There is a level I get from a city event that can give me oozes, or there are 2 treasure chests that will have random side scenarios, and 2 out of 8 of the random side scenarios have oozes. Or if I don't get any of those, I can get up to Prosperity 4, and the Town Records book will unlock the Oozing Grove. So oozes aren't much of an issue. Spitting dragons aren't an issue either. I will have the Temple of the Seer unlocked no matter what. And I could also get the Windswept Highlands from the random side scenario chest. But lurkers are the real problem. So I can get lurkers from Doom Trench. Oh yeah, this is where I made a mistake, and I accidentally I skipped turn on my Cragheart instead of abandoning, which was really stupid. But it's just, that probably lost about 20 seconds. Not the end of the world. So to get lurkers, I can play Doom Trench. The only problem is I won't have Doom Trench unlocked with my route. I would have to play Plane of Night and then Drake's Nest to unlock Doom Trench. Drake's Nest would give me access to Spitting Drake, so I wouldn't have to do Temple of the Seer, so that's basically a 1-for-1 level swap. So I would just have to do 1 extra level to get lurkers 100% of the time. But there are 2 city events that will unlock levels that give me lurkers. So I can buy a map from a Harrower for 20 gold, or once the Mind Thief retires, there's an event where the Mind Thief is being dragged by guards, and you can interfere with them, and that will unlock the Corrupted Cove. And that level has oozes and lurkers. So that is definitely what I want to have happen. I think it's like 12 or 13 opportunities for city events, and I just need 1 of those 2. So sometimes I get runs where I get to the very end and I haven't gotten a level with lurkers, and so I would have to play Plane of Night as an extra level. But that doesn't really matter. That only takes about 4 extra minutes to play that 1 level. So even if you're doing runs of this, don't worry about the bad RNG unless you're like actually trying to get world record, because it's still possible to get like an hour and 30-minute time even with playing Plane of Night. So that's the Plague Herald. Another class that's kind of cumbersome to unlock is the Doomstalker, so I'm going to be getting that by defeating 4 bosses. You just have to go kind of late into the game to get access to the 4th boss fight. You can get 3 really fast and early in the run, but I'm going to be unlocking the Gloomhaven Battlements, which I get after I beat Temple of the Elements. And then the other class that has a lot to it is the Eclipse. So the Eclipse, all of the regular personal quest ways you can unlock it really suck. You can beat 2 levels in the Lingering Swamp, which I beat 0. And then you could go on a 2-quest chain. So that would be 4 extra levels. I think even more than that to unlock Lingering Swamp levels. Or you can beat 6 side scenarios, which would be 6 extra levels, so very, very slow. Or you can just go for negative reputation. So I'm building towards Gloomhaven Battlements A, which will lower my reputation by 5. So I just need to get -5 reputation throughout the run. But that's very easy to do. There is one event in town where as long as you do not have a Mind Thief or a Scoundrel in your party, you can attempt to break in somewhere and fail miserably and lose 3 reputation. So that one event basically gets you all the reputation you need. Otherwise, there are, I think, 3 road events that give you -2, and at least 1 city event that gives you -2, and several that give you -1. So it's relatively easy to get all those events that you need. And this, I believe, should be my last go of the Spellweaver killing herself. So it takes a little bit of time. It's about 10 minutes of grinding in the beginning, but most speedruns have at least a little bit of grinding or like a cutscene-y section in the beginning. So this is I used to speedrun a lot of Zelda games, so this is basically escaping the forest. But I have now my Spellweaver has 12 deaths, my Mind Thief has 3, which means that I will unlock the Berserker, the Saw, and the Music Note. And then I will be ready to go into level 1 for real. So those icons I can go ahead and move over, and they get lit up now. Nice and pretty. So going into level 1, there are several things that I need. First of all, my Sunkeeper goal is going to be to kill 20 bandits or cultists. So level 1, the very first room, when you saw on 4-player there, it had 6 bandits in it. Oh, you can also lower the difficulty here during this cutscene, so it's very important that I remember to do that. So I went all the way from the hardest difficulty to the easiest difficulty. You don't have to play on friendly if you don't want to. You can do this run on any difficulty, but I am trying to get a really good time and going for world record, so I am playing on friendly. The main thing it really does for me is that it makes my Berserker hit a lot harder since she has 6 extra health. But anyway, so there are going to be a lot of bandits in the first room of the first scenario, so that actually gives me a really good place to just reset and kill bandits to get up to 20 kills really quickly. Also, I do not have any of my other classes created right now. I only made 3 on my first go-around, so I'm missing 7. There are 11 unlockable classes, and 1 I get through Reputation. But this is why I wanted to be Prosperity 2. So that first one that we saw, that is one that I want. That is kill 20 unique monsters. That needs to be on a Spellweaver. And then own 4 enhancements is also one that I want. That will be on a Spellweaver as well. So both my first and second slots need to be Spellweavers. Then third slot, that didn't have anything I needed. But the really nice thing about being Prosperity 2 here is that every character I create, there's 3 Oozes, 3 Lurkers, 3 Spitting Drakes, so that's a hatchet. Every character that I create is going to start with 45 gold instead of 30 gold. So I just got 6 elementals there, so that's really good. That one needs to be on a Berserker, so I just need to kill 4 bosses on a Berserker. But all my characters starting with 45 gold is really, really good, mostly because Eagle Eye Goggles are a very good, important item. And so I got 20 Bandits Cultist here, which is a little unfortunate because this is in the 8th slot, and I need that on a Cragheart, not on a Berserker. But I finally got my kill 4 bosses here, and I've seen 2 Spellweavers and 1 Cragheart, which means both of the last 2 slots I need to make are Hatchet, which is a little bit lucky. The only thing I want to avoid is for both of my Hatchet goals to be doubled up. Oh no, I already saw one of the hatchet goals earlier on slot 4. So I knew that they weren't doubled up. So this 12th slot I know is extra, and I actually will be using a music note for 1 level. And I knew I didn't have any goals that I needed there, so I went ahead and made my music note. So get my 20 unique monsters on my Spellweaver. And get my 4 enhancements on my Spellweaver. Then I'll have an empty slot, then the hatchet, then a couple empty slots, and then the Cragheart. So it took a little bit of time for me to make the characters here. I think I lost some time on the first one, but the second one I did get pretty lucky with only having to go to the 8th slot in the second round. It's possible that if you get unlucky, you can be making characters on a class and you'll have to do 2 extra rotations because you need both of those goals, and neither of them go on the class that you made. But since my characters have 45 gold, they're going to be able to start with Eagle Eye Goggles and a Power Potion, which is very, very nice. I believe that is my last character that I'm making, so now I just need to create my party setup that I'm going into the level with. So I need kill 20 unique monsters on my Spellweaver. I need a Berserker who is starting with a Mana Potion and Boots of Striding. Then my Cragheart wants Eagle Eye Goggles and a Power Potion, just going for killing a bunch of bandits. And then my Spellweaver gets the same items. I need to make sure to put Crackling Air on because that is very important for some of my strategies. And then I get this extra perk point since I've already retired a character. Unfortunately, it only gives me 1 and not 3 because I have retired 3 characters, but the game's not nice enough for that. Then I absolutely love this strategy here. I take Break the Chains on level 2 on the Berserker. Leveling up the Berserker is good because it increases her health pool, which makes some of her attacks deal more damage. And then Break the Chains is normally not the card I take. I always take Reckless Offensive because you can hit 3 targets for 4, which is very good. You got another Prosperity there, which doesn't really help. It doesn't really hurt either. It doesn't really affect much of anything. But I always take Reckless Offensive on my Berserkers. And so when I finally found a strategy that needed to use Break the Chains, I was really, really excited for it. But that pull is going to be very useful. So you would think, speedrunning wise, you want to go into every scenario with 2 characters, because that will be faster. There will be fewer monsters and less characters for you to play. But because of the way I can stack up my goals on multiple characters, this is one of just a couple instances where I will be playing levels with 3 characters instead of just 2. So I want my Spellweaver to move up here and use Impaling Eruption. This is going to set Leaf, and it will damage most of these bandits. Now, there is a chance that if she gets a +2, she will kill. Well, it's not a chance. If she gets a +2, she will kill. I want her to kill 1 bandit at one point in time. This is the only place where I'll see bandit guards. And so getting her that unique kill would be good. But I really don't want her to be stealing a bunch of kills. So she didn't get any kills right here. My Cragheart goes for attack on all of these using that leaf. Unfortunately, I needed a +1 with advantage on that bandit guard over on the right, and I didn't get it. But that is 5 kills. So 5 kills, it takes about 1 minute to pull off that strategy. So very, very fast. I'm only going to be doing it 1 more time, and then I'm going to actually just play the level for real. So I could go back to town and then play the level with just 2 characters, but it would take longer for me to go back to town and change my party than it will for me to just beat the level with an extra character. I could also be using the Mana Potion on my Berserker instead of using Impaling Eruption here, and that would just that would make it so that my Spellweaver doesn't have a chance of stealing any kills. But I do want the Spellweaver to get at least 1 kill. So she did get 1 here, which is good. And then, in general, my Cragheart normally gets more bandit kills than it needs. So since the Spellweaver got 1 here, this is going to bring the Cragheart up to 10. And so now we are ready to just play the level for real. There will be 6 bandit guards in this first room. The second room is going to have bandit archers who do count as bandits. And then The second scenario is also going to have some bandit archers. So my Cragheart can finish up the goal in level 2. And since level 1 and level 2 are connected, I won't be going back to town. For a very long time, I was going back to town, but you can save about like 35 seconds by skipping going back to town. So it's a very, very risky strategy because you miss out on one city and one road event, and it is very important that you get as many city events in particular as possible throughout the run. But since I'm going for world record here, I've had 8 or 9 runs that were on like 125 pace that didn't end up finishing just because they didn't get the city and road events they needed. This was just the grind that I knew I was in for. But you can definitely play smarter and avoid a little bit of the grind. So my Spellweaver my Spellweaver stole one of the kills here, and one of these bandits survived, which is really annoying. But at least now my Cragheart is at 14, and I can guarantee he gets this kill, so he'll be at 15 bandits killed, which is not bad. Glasshammer is guaranteed to kill here, even if I get a -2. These archers will step up, but they're really not going to do much. And then my Spellweaver is going to get her Crackling Air set up. And I used a mana potion on the last turn, just so that my Berserker would... so that I would have the air from my Crackling Air to deal 1 extra damage. Now, the way Crackling Air is worded, it sounds like it would only work on 4 different attacks. But when you use an attack that has multi-targets, like Impaling Eruption, Freezing Nova, or Fire Orbs, it doesn't matter how many charges of Crackling Air you have left. Even if you only have 1 charge remaining, the game will give you the bonus damage on all of the attacks. And I can understand why they did that. They didn't want you to feel cheated, because, you know, if you would have killed if the Crackling Air had gone onto a different target, but you didn't get to pick which target got it, you would feel cheated. So that was just a very, very nice quality of life change the developers made when they ported to digital. And so right here you can see I'm down to 3 Crackling Air charges. I didn't want my Spellweaver to steal any of the kills, and she's very likely to kill these guys. And since my Cragheart is only at 15 kills, if he can kill these 2, then he would just need 3, and there will be 3 bandit archers in the first room of level 2. I'd let my Berserker die. My Berserker does not need to do anything else. The only thing I needed it to do in level 1 was to pull the 2 guys over on the corner, use the mana potion, and to kill the elite bandit who's in this first room. So get to use a lost card here on the Cragheart. It's really, really fun to be able to play losses basically just whenever you want, which is just something you can do when you're doing a speedrun and you have things kind of mapped out. So 1 room left to go here, and I have all my turns planned out very carefully, so that on this turn, my Spellweaver will have a +2 damage Crackling Air. She has Ice Up from the Frost Armor that I used last turn. She has all of her movement abilities she needs. She has her Power Potion and her Eagle Eye Goggles, so it is an attack for 6 on all of these targets. Unfortunately, even with advantage, I didn't kill the skeleton. But my Cragheart can just pick up the kill, and it's guaranteed since he's attacking for 2 more damage than the monster has health. And that is level 1. So I'm saving 3 minutes here over my splits. That's just because in my previous run, I was using a very different strategy that required a couple extra goes of resetting to get... I was only getting 4 kills per round instead of 6. So when I found that strategy with the Berserker, I was super, super happy because it saves a lot of time. It also saves even more time just because going into level 2 now, I won't actually be going back to town. I will just be going straight to level 2. So my party is set up perfectly for this level. This is why I needed a Berserker in the party, because this is the first boss fight of the run. So my Berserker has the retirement goal of kill 4 bosses. So it will be very good on this level. Bosses also do count as unique monsters. So my kill 4 bosses character does not have to get the last hit on the boss. So I want my Spellweaver to get the final hit, but it is not guaranteed. Also, playing on 3-player instead of 2 gives the boss 8 extra health, which is scary. Just because if you get like all -2s on your attacks on him, he can survive. And this boss, if he survives, he can open doors or he can summon, both of which are very slow. So I'm using an attack that hurts my Berserker here, but I'm actually I'm ditching a card instead of taking 1 damage, just because every point of damage that I take is going to be 1 point fewer I attack the boss for, and I can't have that. So unfortunately, my mana potion goes into creating Leaf here, so that my Crack Heart can hit everything. So I don't have Wind for my Crackling Air. And you might think that this is very frightening because I'm going at 69, but none of the fast cards the boss has are actually that scary. His 3 fast cards, his 14, 17, and whatever his other fast one, those would just summon a skeleton, and the skeleton has 6 health. It's really not much of an issue to deal with. Then his other 2 medium speed cards, those are just attacks, so he would just attack my Berserker and kill it. The cards where he moves and opens the door, the fastest one is 73. So even though I'm going at 69, which is very, very slow, I will be fast enough to kill the boss. Now, both of my characters, they did not hit very hard. Or my Berserker didn't hit very hard, so I had my Cragheart target the boss rather than either of the archers. But if you were keeping careful count, I had 17 kills in level 1. My Cragheart killed 3 bandit archers in that first room, and then he also got that 1 kill on the skeleton in the final room of room 1. So you'll see when I retire the Cragheart that he's going to have 21 kills, which means he got exactly the 20 that he needed for the bandits. And also, my Spellweaver, she got the final hit on the boss, and she killed both archers at the same time, which was nice. And so she is now at 4 unique monsters killed. She's killed a bandit guard, a bandit archer, a skeleton, and a boss. So, good progress made on those characters, and then 1 out of 4 bosses for my Berserker. So, the Berserker is going to go off of the active list, and I'm going to bring my other basic main character into the run. So, my kill 20 unique monsters has to play a lot of levels to see all those monsters, but the only other possible way to unlock the Beast Tyrant would be to kill 20 elites, and it's just easier to kill 20 uniques than it is 20 elites, because on 2-player there are very few elites. And then the other class that I need is collect 200 gold. So starting with 45 gold is obviously a lot better than starting with 30. And then from all of the levels that I complete, I will end up being about, it's like 14 gold short. So I need to pick up either like 7 gold piles throughout the run, which is just not going to happen. I am playing way too recklessly to pick up those gold piles. But I just need basically 1 city event that gives me something good. So right here, I did something very, very important. I want to be using a Spellweaver in my next level, but I did not take my Spellweaver into that city event. That's because there are 2 city events, and actually this one that I got is one of them, where having a Spellweaver in the party will make you not lose reputation. If I had chosen to stop the crowd from hanging the Vermling while I had a Spellweaver in the party, I would have gotten a Prosperity instead of losing reputation. There is also another event where having the Spellweaver in the party makes you gain a reputation with both the top and the bottom option. So I haven't seen that one yet, so I still will be moving my Spellweaver out of the party for all of my city events, until I don't think I saw that city event ever in this run. I misclicked there. I thought I clicked on the bottom option, and then you have to like move the mouse up to hit OK, but I just failed to click on the bottom option, and I got the top option, which is unfortunate. I'm going to start poisoned and missing a little bit of health, which actually does end up kind of mattering a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. It's just 2 damage and a poison. So this is Inox Encampment. This is actually one of the absolute hardest levels in the run. I think it This level can go really quickly because the Spellweaver has some really good AoEs, and the Hatchet is going to do a really nice job of setting wind for me, which makes my crackling air a lot more effective. But my Spellweaver is going to be doing basically a bunch of attacks for 5, and most of the monsters in this level have 5 health. So it's very easy for me to get bad luck and draw a minus and not kill when I would have killed otherwise. Also, I got bad luck here in that this Shaman was healing on turn 1. It's only 1 of 8 of the cards he could have drawn would have healed there, and if he hadn't healed, obviously that guard would just have 1 health now instead of 4, and so it's going to take me extra turns to kill. I made a little bit of a mistake here just because normally the Inox Archer and Inox Shaman in the back haven't moved up this much. So since they have moved up this much, I should be going for Impaling Eruption here instead of Fire Orbs. Impaling Eruption is kind of the worst spell, but it can hit more targets. They just need to be close together. So I used the bottom of the favorite to get a wound on one of these Inox, and then Power Pitch was able to get me the kill on the other one. Unfortunately, the Shaman healed again, which has put this guy back up to full health already, even though I used a lost card on turn 1 to try to hurt him. But these guys are in what would be a very nice pattern for Impaling Eruption if I had it. And so you can see that heal made all the difference. It needed both of the heals for that Inox card to survive. And then this was kind of a strategy that I hadn't used yet, that I thought I would be able to open that door and then hit the 2 bandit guards who were in that room along with the bandit shaman, but I didn't actually have enough movement with Ride the Wind. So this level definitely did not go super well overall. I was able to pick up the kill on the shaman, which is the most important part. Another very important thing to remember is that this level has 3 unique monsters. I will only see 1 bandit archer, so it's very important that my Spellweaver gets the kill on that. Or it's not a bandit archer, it's an Inox archer. Very important that my Spellweaver picks up that kill. And then it would be amazing if I get a +2 right here, and I do have 3 extra blesses since I'm playing on friendly. So I have 5 +2s in my deck, but I didn't happen to get it there. But overall, you can see this wound is definitely going to come in handy because he ends up picking up my summon. But it's going to be very close. I just need to kill 3 more. So everybody will die pretty soon. Did I make a mistake? Did I kill 11? I think I did. I didn't even notice. Because I'm pretty sure I send my hatchet up and kill a different enemy next turn. Oh, this was really stupid. I can't believe I did this. No wonder I lost so much time here. I killed an extra enemy. I should have just attacked right there with the Spellweaver and then short rested the following turn and then attacked again. I still didn't even realize that I only needed to... My wound strategy on this guy on the bottom was new. And so I see that I have 8 out of 10 kills, and I forgot that I was going to get one from my wound right here. So if only I had just gotten a +2 right here, I would have noticed... Or the level would have just ended sooner than I thought it would have. But I do end up losing about a minute here. This is definitely the worst level of the whole run. But overall, this is still a very, very good run. And this is a very easy level to lose a lot of time to. I'm so stupid. I can't believe I did this. So that is 10 out of 10 killed. And this is my first time watching this back, so I didn't even realize that I'm just wasting all this time here. I could have just done nothing. And so I killed 11 on the Inox Encampment. No wonder I lost so much time. So stupid. I probably could have ended at 45 seconds sooner just by having my hatchet attack on the previous turn instead of setting up the favorite. But you live and learn. That almost makes me want to try to beat this run now, but it would probably take me another 100 attempts or so to get RNG good enough to do so. So I probably will not, but maybe. All right, so level 4 is going to be Crypt of the Damned. So Crypt of the Damned, Ruinous Crypt, and Plane of Elemental Power are very cool because all of them have, between the 3 levels, they have every type of demon. They also have at least 2 of every type of demon, which means I can get both 6 unique monster kills and kill 1 of each of the elemental demons. So once I finish these next 3 levels, I should be at 13 unique monster kills, and I will have the Elementalist unlocked through killing each of the demons. So right here, I'm just making sure to buy my boots, which I will need. I don't need them for any of the levels coming up, but I will need them for Frozen Hollow, and I just want to buy them before I forget. Right here, I make sure I do the strategy again of switching out the Spellweaver to do my city event, and then I'm going to switch her back in before I go to the level. I confused myself. What? Oh, I had forgotten to sell my boots on... since I should not have bought the boots yet on my Spellweaver, was the mistake that I made. I was supposed to buy the boots on this character. And then once he retires, that pair of boots would go back into the shop, and then my Spellweaver would be able to buy a pair of boots. But I just got antsy and overeager, and I bought them early, and so that meant I had to sell them off of my boss killer, who doesn't need the boots anymore. The boss killer only needed the boots for that first level. So just a very minor routing mistake there, but I made sure to switch the Spellweaver out for the city event, which is, I would say, relatively important. I was just checking my cards to make sure I had the right ones, because I do multiple card changes on the Spellweaver throughout, because she has to have Freezing Nova for the first scenario, so she won't have her Aid to the Ether. Which I don't think I actually end up bringing the summon out ever again in the run. But there is one turn where my summon is a backup strategy in case I miss a kill with the top half of my card. Then I bring the summon in with the bottom to pick up the kill on the following turn while I long rest. But this is a very, very cool level. This one can be really hard, especially on harder difficulties. None of the levels are particularly difficult when you're playing on friendly. But on harder difficulties, this level can really be brutal because it has cultists. And cultists are the worst part of speedrunning this game, just because they have a 1 in 4 chance every single turn, no matter what, of summoning skeletons. And it's just really, really slow when they do that. You lose a lot of time. So if I got bad damage, so this is another example where I can use my summon, but I almost never do. If I get bad damage from my Blood Pact, and then I don't kill them with the Retaliate that I used on the Berserker, then I bring in my summon here. But since my Berserker was able to get the 2 kills using that Battle Axe, and then finish off that Archer, I didn't need the summon. So I just get my Spellweaver up to this door with her Crackling Air set, and we are going to go for a big blow up in this room. So there are 2 cultists in here. I'm going to be attacking one of them for 4, and luckily I can just hit all of these guys. So my odds are decent of killing, 0 or better kills all of them, so getting 2 out of 3 kills is pretty good. Unfortunately, this cultist is healing, so that is 2 scenarios in a row where they just have 1 in 8 cards that will heal, and they draw them, and lose a lot of time for me. But at least the cultist didn't summon. And then going all the way into this last room already with my Spellweaver using Ride the Wind, she picks up a kill on a Wind Demon. She also gets a kill on a cultist, so those are 2 new unique monster kills for her. But now, even though she is closest to this Wind Demon, I need to make sure that the Berserker kills it, not the Spellweaver. So the Berserker is close to the Archer, and the Spellweaver is close to the Wind Demon, but they're going to play musical chairs and target the other enemy. So, luckily, +1, I pick up that kill. Very nice. And my Spellweaver is just headed towards that room in the top right, which has an elite Earth Demon. Unfortunately, the Wind Demon didn't move enough, and so... Oh, I could have used my boots, but yeah, I don't really want to do that. I just decided to go for the heal instead. And so now you can tell, I mean, I'm full health and I've got tons of cards, so I've got... It will be very easy for me to finish this scenario. I just need to be going as fast as I can here. And so this is an example where like I'm losing just a little bit of time just because I could be physically playing the game faster. If I were making these decisions in less time, but it's just very, very hard while you're playing to try to go absolutely as fast as you can. I really didn't even need to go for the damage there. The main thing I want from my Spellweaver is just to pull that Earth Demon forward so that it will be closer to my Berserker. My Berserker right now is 8 spaces away, but now or 10 spaces away, but once that Earth Demon has moved forward, it's 9 spaces, which is in range of my Strength of Agony. So I just make sure my Spellweaver goes after, and I will always be able to pick up this kill. I just need to lose a card to not take damage. And go all the way across the map using those boots that I got, and that is Crypt of the Damned. So definitely a fast level right there, and I was able to get 2 unique monster kills and 2 elemental kills. Sometimes, just based off of the card that I lose on a short rest, I won't have Glass Hammer there, which means sometimes my Spellweaver will pick up the kill on the Earth Demon. So that's just an important thing for me to remember, because I will have 2 Earth Demons later on in the run that I can kill. And so it's just, I need to make sure that my kill 20 unique monsters gets an Earth Demon. I need to make sure that both of them get an Earth Demon. And so now Ruinous Crypt. Ruinous Crypt is definitely one of my favorite levels in the run. Oh, got to switch out my Spellweaver first, just for this encounter real quick. Unfortunately, I don't have a Cragheart or a Brute in the party, I think, are what you could have, and you would get gold from the top of that event. But if you don't have them, you lose gold if you pick the top. So I definitely do not want my collect 200 gold character losing gold. And we are off to the Ruinous Crypt. So this level you start disarmed, and neither of these classes have access to ignore negative scenario effects. So both my classes will be disarmed, which is a little bit annoying for the Berserker, not so much for the Spellweaver, just because she can bring in the Summon, who is obviously going to be very good. And then she can also set up Crackling Air. So she has both a top and a bottom action that she really wants to be doing. And then the only thing I do not want to see from these Night Demons is their 7-speed card. All 8 of Night Demon cards attack. And so I just want to be faster than them, because if you saw, my Berserker just set up 3 Retaliate. And these Night Demons have 3 health. So Night Demon attacks and then dies straight up to me, which is just so cool. Also, getting a kill with Retaliate does give you kill credit. If you get a kill with Wound, you do not get kill credit towards your personal quest. And so once again, really nice damage from my summon here, getting the kill even at disadvantage. Once again, I have an example of my Berserker being right next to enemies, and then unfortunately not picking up the kill on that cultist. But Berserker is just going to ignore it. Berserker has her own plans. She has her own goals. She needs to be killing these Earth Demons. And then another really good use of the Battle Axe here, just saving a turn by being able to kill 2 targets instead of 1. Unfortunately, the skeleton didn't walk over to me, but that's not a big deal. And then the cultist is going to heal himself, so I will just need to make sure I take care of him. Cultist, this is so annoying. Cultist goes fast and draws his attack on death card, and the skeleton just stands still again. So my Spellweaver does pick up the kill on this cultist, which is good. I mean, it's not bad, but also it means that I have to sit here and wait for this 10-second cutscene of the dead cultist attacking me. And then Spellweaver is going to be going for 3 kills here. She still has Crackling Air, and then Power Potion and Eagle Eye Goggles means that -1 or better kills both of these Flame Demons, and I need a +1 to kill the skeleton. So I did get that +1 that I needed, and then I also got a +2, which was very helpful here. +2 and a 0. I needed 0 overall on both attacks to kill. So after I got the +2, even a -2, I still would have killed. So I lost a very small amount of time here just to the cultist getting a couple extra turns and attacking me on death. I saved time over my previous run. I just lost time against my best split. Then this is another example of me playing super, super, super greedy and not going back to town. I just go straight on into the plane of elemental power. So skipping this city and road event, it makes it so that I just have fewer opportunities to unlock lurkers. I haven't unlocked lurkers yet. I'm not exactly sure where my reputation is. I think I'm at -3, and I need to get to -5. So my reputation is on pretty good pace, but I only have, I believe, 4 more levels yet. Oh, my reputation's -4, so I just need 1 more reputation event, which is very, very good. But I haven't unlocked lurkers, so I basically have a 2 in like 34, 35 chance every time I go back to town to get that event. The odds definitely change just based off how many characters you've retired, because each time you retire a character, you add a city event to the deck. If it's the first time you retire the class, you add one, and then when you unlock a class, you add one as well. So sometimes I'll be adding 2 city events when I retire a character, and then some city events get removed from the deck after you play them, but some of them don't. So it's basically impossible to know exactly how many are in the deck right now. But overall, my odds are pretty decent that at some point in the run, it's like 60, it's like 2/3 of the time, I will end up getting one of the 2 lurker levels. Then first turn here, I got really unlucky with these flame demons drawing. They have 2 cards that are faster than my berserker. I really want them to go slower than my berserker because I'm wounding them and they only have 2 health. But once again, that wound is not going to count for kill credit. So my berserker has not killed a flame demon yet. There were flame demons in the previous level, but the spellweaver got all the kills. So I need to make sure that my berserker kills at least 1 of the flame demons here. Then this card, they got their two target wounding card. So unfortunately, this stupid flame demon gets the kill on my berserker, so I have to ditch a card. It only would have killed with a plus because it's an attack for 0. And then this flame demon, I believe, also kills me. Yeah, so I have to lose another card. Luckily, I have way more cards than I need, and this flame demon isn't able to reach. So those 2 are going to die to wound. Earth demon was always going to kill me no matter what. So all of a sudden, the berserker is very, very low on cards. But it only needs to kill this one flame demon in the room that he is in. Ugh, and then the flame demons go faster than me. Luckily, they got that -2. Otherwise, I would have been losing another card. But as soon as this flame demon is dead, that is all 6 elementals killed by my berserker. So I made sure that I saved bounce back so that I would get that 1 health heal, so the blood pack doesn't kill me when I take the damage, and then blood pack is always guaranteed to kill a flame demon. Now this is the example I was talking about earlier, where if I didn't get the +1 right there, I would have brought in my mystic ally so that she could get the kill on the next turn, but I didn't need that. So go for a long rest here, that way I will have 2 extra health so I can step on that trap. My berserker doesn't have any jumps, so has to just eat trap damage, either that or wait for monsters to walk over to them, but earth demons are very slow. It would take probably like 4 turns for that earth demon to get over there. But I still had crackling air for these attacks. It wasn't a +2 crackling air, but I did have power potion and eagle eye goggles, so spellweaver cleans up everything in the back, and I just need to kill this earth demon. My spellweaver got her earth demon kill in the second room of this scenario, so it doesn't matter who gets the kill, and so I can just go for it with my resolute stand. I don't think I needed to take any damage there because I had my boots. Yeah, I had my boots, and my boots would have been enough. I don't know why the game routed me through that lava there. I was so pissed. I was just like clicking to get there as fast as possible. And the game could have just had me take this step to the left rather than walk in the lava and die to it. But whatever. The game just cheated me out of a couple seconds. But overall, losing 20 seconds there isn't too bad. That level can be really annoying based off what the flame demons do. It's just 9 is the fastest my berserker can go. So when those flame demons get their 1 in 4 chance of going faster than you on turn 1, it can add a lot of time and then add a lot of damage, and then adding that wound. That was almost like the worst possible luck. but I did get that +1 in the second room, killing the Earth Demon. And so we are back to Gloomhaven and unlocking the Elementalist. And then, I believe this should be 13 unique monster kills. Where did... Maybe I'm crazy. I feel like that's missing one. But I'm not going to try to figure it out right now. But on Frozen Hollow, I will get access to 3 more unique monsters. I haven't seen any of them. Oh, that's exactly what it is. My Spellweaver has not killed the Frost Demon yet, because the only Frost Demon is in Ruinous Crypt, where the Berserker took the Frost Demon side and the Spellweaver took the Fire Demon side. But I route it that way because Frozen Hollow has Frost Demons. So, Frost Demons, Living Spirits, and Wolves. It's the first time I've seen any of these. This was very risky of me. I took this city event with a Spellweaver in the party, but luckily I didn't get that reputation event. I'm not too worried about it right now, though, because I am at -5 reputation, which is what I need. So even if I did get the one bad city event that's remaining that would give me +1 reputation no matter what, since the Spellweaver's in the party, it would just be... I would just need to lose one more, which is pretty easy to do. There are a lot of events that lose reputation.
The map.
So at this point, I just need to make sure my Spellweaver gets unique monster kills, and I want to pick up gold on the hatchet, but I don't want to really lose time by picking up gold piles. So if I have a good retrieval that I can go for, that'll be a move 1, loot 1. I could potentially do that, but on this difficulty, the gold piles are only worth 2 gold, and so trying to get to 200 gold, picking it up 2 gold at a time is very slow. So this is a beautiful example of Impaling Eruption. Just, ooh, that is nice. This is definitely the Impaling Eruption level. But 4 kills right there. Unfortunately, my hatchet isn't in range here. I could use Double Throw, which would put me in range to attack this elite, but it's only an attack for 3, so it would almost never kill. It would have to get a +2 to kill. And then I'd only be attacking 1 target, and I want to hit 2. So there's just not really anything the hatchet can do to be in range. I go for Fancy Hat Bottom here. It guarantees the kill without me having to use my Power Potion, and I want to save my Power Potion for when I'm hitting multiple targets. So hatchet stands still and falls behind a little bit. There's also some interesting anti-synergy with this level, because there are multiple times where the hatchet would love for the Spellweaver to go first. Like right here, it would be really nice if the Spellweaver went in first, but using Fire Orbs and Ride the Wind is faster than all of the hatchet cards. It's not even possible for the hatchet to go slower than her. So he has to go in first, go for a double throw there with the Power Potion. It just means that a +1 will kill either demon. And so I did get 1 +1, which is all I needed. And now, because I'm attacking for 5, both of these kills, even at disadvantage, are guaranteed. And I just needed a 0 to kill that guy. I made a mistake here, but it is not a... There are no monsters on the field. I was supposed to short rest there and Reviving Ether on my Spellweaver. Not the end of the world. I realized it right here. It's like, wait a second. I don't have Reviving Ether, so I'm just going to have to take 1 extra turn to get my Reviving Ether up. Normally, I would have been going on this turn, but it'll give my hatchet the ability to get closer. Spellweaver doesn't need to get any closer. But on the following turn, since my turn order is messed up now, my hatchet is going to go faster than the Spellweaver because it's not possible for him to go slower. So he's just going to have to get right in front of the door. And so my hatchet is just going to move up next to the door. Picked up that gold pile on the previous turn. And now I am go mode with the Spellweaver. So she jumps all the way into this final room. She still has 1 charge of Crackling Air left, so it's going to apply to all of these attacks and get everything dead except for this Elite Frost Demon. Unfortunately, I did draw a minus against it. I could have long rested, I guess, to get my Eagle Eye Goggles back, but it's definitely not the end of the world. This chest in the top right hand corner has 20 gold in it, and so it is basically required on my 200 gold character that I pick up this chest. I would have to get really lucky with city and road events to not need that chest. But I'm able to pull this demon a little bit closer so that on the following turn, my hatchet can hit it. That trap right there, it is not a damage trap, it is a stun trap. So I had to jump over it, and I would have to jump over to get back. So, very, very dangerous trap. But repeat shot bottom gives me a nice attack, and then center mass top meant that I was going to be double attacking, and I was going to kill that guy no matter what. And Frozen Hollow is done. So 3 minutes ahead of my previous run here, and basically all of that time save is just from my faster 20 bandits kill strategy that I came up with. So I'm right on pace with my previous run, except this level is where I made my biggest mistake in the previous run. And so I adjust that here, and you'll be able to see a nearly flawlessly executed strategy instead of a disastrous one. I was starting to make a video for my previous run because I was proud of it at the time, but when I got to this level, I was like, oh, I don't want to be advertising that strategy. That was disgusting. So I believe I go for a city event here, just trying to get my gold. And once again, my reputation's really good now, so I probably don't bother switching my Spellweaver out. Yeah, I don't. Just take too much time. And so I get the map from the Valrath Sea Merchant. So this gives me lurkers. Unfortunately, my 20 unique monster character didn't have enough gold to buy it outright, but I only lost 1 gold on my 20 gold character. So I now have access to everything that I need, because I will get Spitting Drakes once I beat level 8, the Gloomhaven Warehouse. And then I will also, I can unlock oozes through the Oozing Grove. And I've had 1 extra event that gives me +1 prosperity. So I'm only going to be 1 prosperity short by the end of the run, but I've got plenty of characters to donate to the church to get up to prosperity 4 and then get oozes for me. So I now have access to everything that I need, and my reputation is in a great spot. So the only thing I'm looking for from city and road events now is gold on my 200 gold character. That is literally the only thing that I want. So I'm definitely sitting pretty, because this is about 2/3 of the way through the run. So this is a risky strategy. I need to get a +1 on one of these 2 cultists. But my deck is pretty good at this point, and so I could go for the power potion there. There are 2 places I could use this power potion, and basically the power potion will just make it so that I need a 0 instead of a +1. But I go for the power potion later because I'll only be attacking 1 target, whereas here I'm attacking 2 targets, so I have 2 chances to get the +1. To kill one of those cultists and be able to walk through into the second room. I also set up my extra lift, so my hatchet is going to be able to go really far with every move. Unfortunately, the cultists summon, so I'm going to get a bunch of extra turns from skeletons here. But I went fast, and then I used Power Pitch here to guaranteed pick up this kill, even with a -2. So that worked out really nicely. -2 is totally fine for me to see right there. And then I wanted to make sure that I used Power Pitch there and not earlier, because Power Pitch is a very slow card. And so my hatchet is going to be going for another altar kill on the following turn, but wants to do it really quickly. So Spellweaver is going for kills here. Impaling Eruption has 1 range more than Fire Orbs, so I'm able to be closer to the door, which must be closer to the room up top. And then Center Mass is going to give me an attack for 3 from the hatchet. Well, Spellweaver is going to go first with her Ride the Wind. Don't even need the boots in this scenario. I literally only need them in Frozen Hollow. I use Power Potion on the first altar to guarantee that it dies even with a -2. And then an Eagle Eye Goggles on the second altar because I just need -1 or better to kill. Anything except for -2. Then I have to use Disorienting Barrage just because it gives me 3 3 movements and 3 extra chances at extra lift. And then I go for the power potion when I'm attacking this altar, so that a 0 will kill, but I got them +2, so it didn't matter either way. So I'm definitely saving time here versus my previous run. I'm just losing a little bit of time to the fact that the cultists summon on turn 1, and so these skeletons got extra turns. And then they summoned again here, but I did still get pretty good. I got very good pulls on my attack modifiers in this level, so I cannot complain. That flame demon died, and it only dies to a +1, and I wasn't attacking with advantage or anything, so a very, very fast level there. Basically, the longest level I do in this whole run takes like 6 minutes, and it's probably Frozen Hollow. So I do make a mistake in this upcoming level, but it is not... In the end, my mistake actually ends up saving time, but I would have had a more consistent run had I not made it. So my 200 gold character is very, very short on gold at this point. I'm only at 74, and I need to be retiring after the next level. Or not the one that I'm on, but the one after that. And that was maybe a little bit of a mistake. I took an extra -1 reputation that I really do not need. I need to find my boss killing character here and upgrade jump onto strength and agony. That will be very useful in all 3 of the boss levels that I have coming up. And so now off to the Gloomhaven Battlements. So this is the level that the whole run has been building towards. It has a boss fight, which is good for my kill 4 bosses, and it gives -5 reputation, which is amazing for unlocking the Eclipse. Also, beating this level gives 30 gold as a reward, and there is a chest in this level that has an item that sells for 12 gold. But in order to pick up that chest without losing time, you have to get a little bit lucky. So I'm going to, if you don't know this level, you have to destroy this door, and you have to kill the boss who is behind the door. So my Berserker is able to jump over the guardrails and just go and fight the boss straight up before the door has been destroyed. But I do still have to destroy the door. And so all of these demons are on my side, and they will also be attacking the door. And so I will be using Power Pitch on turn 2, but I don't have anything boosting it up. I won't have Power Potion or Favorite or Double Throw. So I'm just going to be attacking the door for 6, and I need it to die. Also, there are guards who are standing in the way of the chest, and I need them to move out of the way. So picking up the chest requires a little bit of good luck. But overall, it's relatively easy to have that happen, to get luck good enough to pick up the chest. And I've now gotten the door down to 6 health, which is very, very good, but I still mess up. If I had gotten a gold event at this point, I would not need to pick up the chest. But since I haven't gotten it, I would love the chest on my hatchet. My hatchet had 74 gold, I believe. Gets 30 gold from this, so that's 104. Then gets 50 gold from the next level it beats, so that is 154. Then gets 37, which is going to be, 91? And then, so I would sell this item for 12, and that would put me at 230. So I kill the boss, go down to 1 health, and I don't know why I was spamming my takes damage button here instead of ditch a card. So because I did that, none of these guards are going to see a target since the door has been destroyed. And so instead of walking forward and getting out of the way, they're just going to stand still. So the chest is in that top left-hand corner, but I am not going to get it. So tiny bit of a misplay. I do save time in that I don't have to watch any of the 3 guards in that room take their turn. And I can basically just skip my hatchet's turn instead of running all the way to that chest. So it saves time as long as I can get a city event that will get me gold. But I am like 9 gold short right now from what I need. And skip all my hatchet turns since there's no way to get that chest since I have no jumps. And that is the Gloomhaven Battlements. So now I am at minus 11 reputation, which is going to unlock my Night Shroud as soon as I get back. And then Circles is going to be next. So this is something that I learned very recently. So there is a rule in Gloomhaven that you can only enhance a number of cards equal to the prosperity level of the town. So I have the goal to own 4 enhancements. I thought that meant that I had to have prosperity 4, but it actually doesn't. You can do it with prosperity 3. You just need to purchase 2 enhancements onto the same half of the same card. But enhancements become more expensive when you already have that card enhanced. So the Spellweaver has some cards who Mana Bolt in particular, you can increase the heal for 20 gold, and then you can increase the range for 40 gold, since it costs 20 damage. So that's 60 gold, and then you just need another 40 to get 2 extra moves. And so that means I only need 100 gold on a Spellweaver. This right here is the event that gives me the Corrupted Cove, which is the other map that has lurkers. So this run actually got both maps that have lurkers, but Corrupted Cove is better because it has oozes as well, so I will only have to play 1 level instead of 2. I buy a stamina potion on my Berserker. It's very important for this level, and I am off to the Infernal Throne. So this level gives me 50 gold to each character as a reward for beating it. I thought that the top of this road event would give me gold, but it takes gold from me. So luckily my Berserker had enough gold that was able to lose the gold and not care. But I just misremembered that road event, because I always pick the other side of it. I know whenever it shows up to pick the bottom. So dumb mistake. I don't know what I was doing here, almost taking that stun. I would much rather lose the -1. So my Spellweaver has 45 gold. She needs 100, and she will get 50. So I have 3 different objectives going on in this level. My Berserker wants to kill the boss. That's the only thing it cares about. My Spellweaver wants to pick up 3 piles of gold. That's the only thing she cares about. And my Hatchet wants to pick up the chest all the way at the back end of the level. And that is the only thing he cares about. So all 3 of my characters are here, and they're all doing... They're basically all doing their own thing, which I think is really funny. Also, it's very important that I have the stamina potion here, and I can explain, or I can show you why. So I use my power potion here. It just guarantees that I get the kill, even with a -2. And then I do go ahead and open the door. My Hatchet needs basically every point of movement it can get. And then I also want that gold pile for my Spellweaver, since she needs to pick up 3. So I lose time to these monsters getting turns before I can kill them. It would be best if I just opened the door and killed them immediately before they went. But I need the gold. So take some damage from these guys. Luckily that didn't kill me. I would have just had to lose a card. And then this Sun Demon, that has to be the fastest card Sun Demons have. The overall Sun Demons are generally really slow. But I don't want to take damage on my Berserker. I can take a little bit, but I'm going to be attacking for my current health. And then I need to make sure that I move 1 space up. I almost messed this level up badly, but I remembered that I need to move up 1. And then Cauterize gets that, what was that, a +1 at disadvantage, which is very nice, meaning that that Night Demon will die. Now, I do need both the Night Demon and this Wounded Wind Demon to die before my Hatchet has its turn. But luckily, that's why I went for Impaling Eruption. So Spellweaver is able to pick up the kill, which means the Hatchet is able to go fast instead of going slow. And then my Berserker is going to be running into that final room, and Spellweaver is just going to stay right here picking up gold piles. So I can take a little bit of damage here. I will still kill the boss. You can see my movement worked exactly. I am touching the altar. So I get an attack for 15 here, but this is very important. I short rested to get Strength and Agony back, and then on this turn I played Strength and Agony and a burned card, which means that I do not have 2 cards in my discard, so I cannot short rest again. So the only way for me to get my Strength and Agony back is for me to use a stamina potion right there. I also need to get Strength and Agony back if the boss is teleporting the altar away, because it will be 4 spaces away from me, and the only card I have that moves 4 spaces or more is Strength and Agony. You can also see the altar has 8 health, so the Spellweaver could theoretically kill the altar if she had an attack this turn and then attacked next turn. She could get the kill, but her goal is not to kill the boss. Her goal is to pick up her gold piles. So I wanted to use Ride the Wind Top to loot a gold pile there, but since that Night Demon walked up, I just had to use the bottom to jump over, but no big deal. I still get my gold pile. Altar gets teleported. He will kill my Berserker, but I just lose a card. And then my Berserker just needs to move 4 spaces to kill the altar. This is a really simple level, but so many things can go wrong. So many more things than you would think can go wrong. So I'm just going for a kill here. It would just mean that the Wind Demon doesn't take its turn. I probably shouldn't have done that, because the time it takes for me to kill is basically the same length of time it would take for the demon to go for its attack. Also, maybe a theoretical optimization would be to buy a Battle Axe to kill both the Battle Axe and that Frost Demon that gets summoned when the altar gets moved. But it would only save like 7 or 8 seconds of this Frost Demon taking a turn. And then Sun Demon's not going to get in range, and level is beaten. The Hatchet is going to get, well, all the characters are going to get 50 gold for beating the level. And then the Hatchet picked up that Pendant of Dark Pax, I believe it's called, which sells for 37 gold. So all of a sudden, in those last 2 levels, it's been like 117 gold that my Hatchet has skyrocketed up. So I went from 74 to right below the 200 that I need. I just need a singular road event or city event. And yeah, I won't be going on any missions with the Hatchet anymore. So I need a city event that will give me gold. If I don't get it, I didn't pick up either of the gold chests in the Ruinous Crypt. And so I can just, I could buy some boots, go to that level, and use the boots on turn 1 with extra lift and fancy hat to go and pick up the chest and then reset, and then pick up the other chest and then sell the boots. And I would have enough money. But getting my 4 enhancements on my Spellweaver now retires with 1 extra gold in her pocket. Circles is unlocked, and we are nearly there. That is 7 out of 11 classes. And then I also got, I got the really good lurker map, the one that has both lurkers and oozes, and so that's what I'm going for next. Unfortunately, I don't get a gold event here. But, yeah, I sold my items just to check and see, but I am 4 gold short. That is so close. It's just 2 gold piles. Oh, it also means I would only need to pick up 1 chest and then sell my boots back, and I would have enough. So picking up that 1 chest would probably cost me about 1.5 minutes. And then this is a very minor mistake here. Because my reputation is so bad, which is what I wanted, but it also means that things cost extra in the shop. And so I can't afford both an Eagle Eye Goggles. This is a brand new Hatchet. It's a different one. This is my kill 3, 3, and 3. But because his reputation is so bad, he can't afford both an Eagle Eye Goggles and a Power Potion, which means that I should do level 8 first, the Gloomhaven Warehouse. I push that. I've had access to that level ever since I beat the Inox Encampment, but I push it back until the end of the run because it gives me +2 reputation. So now that I've already unlocked the Eclipse, I don't need to worry about getting plus reputation. But if I'd had that +2 reputation, my items would cost less gold, and I would be able to buy a Power Potion. But since I don't have that Power Potion here, I'm just going to have to be getting better damage pulls on my attack modifiers. But this level is very important. If you remember, we were at 16 unique monster kills. This level just so happens to have 5 unique monster types, but one of them is the boss. So my Spellweaver wants to kill 4 of those 5 unique monster types. And then my hatchet just needs to kill 3 lurkers and 3 oozes. So turn 1, I just get some damage, and then I hope that my hatchet gets a double kill. And so with these Eagle Eye Goggles, I do get the +1 that I need. And then I'm going to be storming the second room. Unfortunately, Spellweaver just has to go slow. There's not really anything better that she can do. And then Power Pitch is going to guarantee that I pick up a kill on this ooze right here, close to the door. So I just use extra lift because it's a move 4, which is the best I have. That's the second time this run that I've drawn a -2, but I was attacking for 6, so it doesn't matter. And then luckily none of these guys really did anything, even though they were faster than my Spellweaver. So she is just going to jump in here. She has never killed an ooze, a deep terror, or a black imp. So she can just unload everything, and with advantage, picks up all the kills. I can abandon before anything else takes its turn. And so now I just need to kill 1 lurker on my Spellweaver, 1 lurker on my hatchet, and 2 oozes on my hatchet. And then both of them are good to go back to town. My Spellweaver will retire, and my hatchet will only be missing 3 spitting dragons. I was really freaking out at this point in the run because I'm like right at the end, and I need very, very, very little RNG. Like, I'm almost guaranteed to have things go well. So Spellweaver does get that kill, which is one example of good RNG. So she is now done. She has killed 20 unique monsters. So I go for this attack 6, and I set up my extra lift just so that I will be able to get far into this room on the next turn. And then this is where my mistake comes back to bite me just a little bit. I do not have a power potion here, and that is an immobilized trap, so I do not have enough movement to actually get over to that ooze and make it suffer the 2 damage from my disorienting barrage, unfortunately. I would be 1 movement short since I would have to avoid the trap, and then the ooze survives with 1 health. I thought about abandoning and just reloading, and I just needed to kill 1 ooze, so I could just jump over the lurkers in the first room and just kill that ooze right by the door. But I decided I would just sit and wait through all the monster turns. It's probably faster to sit and wait through their turns than it is to reset the scenario again. So this is probably about 30-35 seconds lost, but maybe a little bit more. It might be like 45 seconds lost, just because I could have played my levels in a different order and had a power potion. But at least my hatchet can make sure he goes fast, and he has power pitch, so he is guaranteed a kill here. And we are back to town. Only 2 levels left, but both of them still have really cool strategies, I think. And then I also need that good city event on my 200 gold character, who is missing 4 gold. So there are several city events that will give you 5 gold each. And so I just need to get one of those. And there are a couple that give you 10. Also, the longer and longer you play, the longer and longer the loading times take. So one thing that's really annoying, but I've found can end up saving me like 30 seconds in the first 20 minutes of the run, is restarting my computer. So I always restart my computer right before I start attempts, and then after I've played for like an hour or so, I generally restart my computer again. But especially these loading zones at the end of the run start to take a lot of time. I'm not a computer programmer, so I don't really know how any of that works, but I would assume there's some sort of buffer that needs to be cleared or something. I don't know. So I'm getting my 200 gold character and my 4 boss character, and I do just so happen to get lucky enough. I couldn't even remember if this event gave you gold or not, but it's one of the really good reasons to retire a Berserker early, which is actually one of the reasons that I have the Berserker as the Kill 6 Elements class, because that event that it adds to the city deck gives me both gold and minus reputation. So a really, really, really good one. It also gives a road event that is basically the exact same thing, where you can pick up Bloody Axe. And so just 2 characters left now, and I have unlocked my 3 spears. So a Mind Thief all of a sudden is joining the party again, and I made sure to change the Mind Thief's cards to give it Possession, one of my absolute favorite cards in the game. Some of the levels that there are a couple escort levels where you have to get, like, there's one where you have to get Hail into the final room. You can use cards like Possession and Marching Beat from the Mind Thief and the Music Note respectively to just like throw your NPC character forward. You can even do it with Redthorn in Slave Pins if you just want him to walk into traps and die. But in this case, I will be throwing a playable character just to get my Berserker further in. I don't know why I ditched a card to not take damage there. It is just a waste of time. But you can see now that I am all the way at this door, I am going to have exactly enough movement without the boots to be able to jump to this guy and one-shot him. And so that is 1 out of 2 bosses dead. I just need to hit the other one. And fortunately, I have to lose a card and not take damage, but you can see that the Berserker is very, very fast. Really, really fun character to play with. And take a little bit of damage on my rat here, but this level is nearly done. And then if you have been keeping track, we just need to kill 3 drakes and the run is over. I'm not sure here if it's faster to go invisible or to just take damage, but I did decide to just go invisible. They're probably very similar speeds, but we do have to watch these skeletons walking. It probably would have been faster to just take the damage. To take the damage and then not die to the first hit, but then to die to the second one. Probably would have been fastest. But we're just talking about seconds there. So, Doomstalker has been unlocked. 1 final split, 1 final level, 3 enemies left to kill. And then right here is where I figured out. I was spending this whole time kind of panicking a little bit because I need to be going for +1s on my attacks to kill these spitting drakes. But it was while I was walking back to town here that I realized I'm getting 2 reputation, which is going to make my power potion cheaper. I don't know how I didn't have this in my route already, because it should have come up before, but somehow it just never has. But this is only the 3rd run I've had that got my actual like ideal run where I got all the city events that I needed. Normally I'm like panicking. I get to the point where I've beat all my main quest missions, but I either don't have enough negative reputation or most of the time I don't have lurkers unlocked, and so I'm like playing extra levels just trying to get extra city events. But I get my +2 reputation, and so I'm going to add a music note for the very final level. I just need to find my Ooze character. I can buy my power potion now, go down to 0 gold, make sure I equip it, put my music note in the party. Everyone has the cards that they need because I just need Possession and then the base cards of the music note. Playing this level with 3 characters, it makes it so that there will be 2 white drakes instead of there's 5 gold each. I definitely could have used that on multiple characters at multiple points in time, but too little too late. But I'm going to be targeting 2 white drakes, and I'm going to be attacking both of them for 4 with advantage, and they will have 5 health. So I need a +1 to kill, but I'm going to be attacking 2 twice, so I'll have 4 attacks, and I just need to get a +1 with advantage on 3 of them. So the odds are pretty good. I just use extra lift here just because I won't be getting the extra movement from it, but it is my highest move card that I have access to. And then Song of Speed, not a card that you really think of using very much, but it's going to make this possession make me move 5 instead of moving 4. It's going to make my extra lift move 5 instead of moving 4. And it's going to make my double throw 5 range instead of 4. And so that is exactly enough movement and everything I need to reach both of these spitting drakes. And then I do get both of the pluses that I need. So I'm able to abandon. And that means that there is no RNG left because I can go for power pitch now instead of double throw, since I only need to kill 1 and not 2. And so that the strategy is going to be exactly the same, except just power pitch instead, which will deal 3 more damage, which means it is a guaranteed kill even with a -2. So I don't even need the eagle eye goggles. I will throw on the power potion. But that is it. Those are all of my strategies for unlocking all of the classes. This is a really, really, really fun run. I highly recommend it. There are so many moving parts to it, and the strategies like basically never stay the same. It all depends so much on what events you've gotten and how well you play. Like it's it's just a really, really fun category and a really fun game to run. But I know I was just recording this. I just had the microphone muted the whole time, but I know I unmute at some point in time coming up here just to get my live reaction to the end of the run. So I'm going to end the recording here and just throw it over to my live self. I cannot believe it. This run was incredible. Oh my god, I'm freaking out. That was so cool. Oh, I really hope I didn't mess up and I didn't forget anybody. Let's go. Wait. Yeah. Oh man. That feels really, really good. Just double check I have everybody. Yep, that is 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. Whew. Alright guys, that is all I have for you. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and come on back for the next one. It's probably going to be, I'm probably going to try to lower my my brutal time. Have a good one guys, thanks.